and welcome to the third and final part of the Disney College Program application series. So for this final part, you must have made it through the web-based interview, or again, you're getting some extra research in before you even can apply, which is awesome. But here you are, and you're gonna get ready for your phone interview. This is the scariest part of the entire process because it is the last step. It is your last chance to prove yourself and show that you would be a great person to accept into this program. And that is a lot of pressure, and I know especially in this day and age, since we've all grown up just being able to text and instant message or whatever, none of us like talking on the phone. It's rare to find somebody in our generation that enjoys speaking to another human being on a phone, especially when it's for an interview. So it's very intimidating, but I promise you, they are the nicest people on the other line. I haven't heard a single story about a mean interviewer, so don't worry about that. They're gonna hear the nervousness in your voice the second that you pick up, but you know, you gotta just try and mask it as well as you possibly can. My heart was beating 1,000 miles an hour when I picked up my phone. It was just, I don't know why. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not nervous. I woke up, I felt okay, and then it rang and I was so nervous. But it all worked out in the end. And the great part is I got it all on video. So I didn't even know that I wanted to start this channel, and I knew my phone interview was that day, and I said if I want to start something, I might as well just film my phone interview and do it now. So I literally filmed on my phone. It's such bad quality. I'm all weird. I didn't even know what to name my channel. I don't even know. It's so cringy, but I thought, what better way to talk about how to succeed in a phone interview than to react to my own phone interview, which got me accepted into the program somehow. So, holy moly, let's go back into the archives, my very first video on this channel. But first I want to tell you a little bit about the phone interview. So once you succeed in the web-based interview, you can schedule your phone interview day and time. And that's usually about a week ahead from that day. Definitely take the first spot that you can get, because just the sooner is better, honestly, at least I think. But if you feel like you do need a little more time to prepare, that's fine too. And when you have your phone interview time, say it's at 3 o'clock, it can start at 2:45 or at 3:15. So you have to be at the phone for that entire hour, basically, just waiting. I also recommend giving them a landline number if you have that, because especially in my house, I gave them my landline because my cell phone rarely worked in my house for phone calls. So make sure you give a reliable phone number for them to call. It could come up as blocked or restricted or private. Answer every call you get, unless it's a scam. Hang that thing up because you need that phone available. It is also really helpful to have some quick notes in front of you, not so you sound like you're reading, but just some bullet points. Again, when you are filling out your application, the original written application, you should try and write down all of the skills you put in each section of your application. So like for each job, what your skills are and the keywords. Make sure you mention those here too, guys. They love to hear it. But just don't make it sound robotic. Try and make it flow as much as possible. I don't even think I used any of those keywords. I might have, but I fast forwarded all my responses, I think. Oh God. All right. Now that we've got that covered, let's get into my reaction. Here we go. Hi guys. So today is August 29th. Oh, the music. And it is my phone interview day, so that will be in about 15 minutes. And I'm just in this room now. I got all my things laid out. I'll show you in a second. And I hope my dog doesn't ruin it or bark or make noise or anything. Oh yeah. So, I thought my dog would bark. I'm on my phone right now also because my camera's not charged, but that's okay. So I didn't really do what people say to like dress like you're going to an interview, because I just wanted to be comfortable and be relaxed. And I'm wearing this shirt that says "Practice Reckless Optimism" because I'm trying to be optimistic about today. Oh my gosh, the shirt. I think I put ears on too, I don't remember. Oh wait, duh, of course I did. Make me relaxed, so, and of course, I will put these on. There it is. I'm so awkward, I didn't even know how to do anything. Oh. This music is horrible, why did I choose it? Oh my goodness, I'm so annoying. Stop dancing. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my god. Okay, so the greeting, make sure you say good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is, and say this is your name. And then they'll know exactly who they're talking to. The interview has begun on a good note. Whew, I'm like, why am I nervous? So weird.
This is a perfect time.
Oh god, they'll ask you if it's a good time. Of course it is, why wouldn't it be? Oh my god, I was dying. And I couldn't like take a deep breath because then she would hear. Okay, yeah. They talk about where you go to school, so don't lie about that.
Right now would be a perfect time to do the Disney College program because my school actually didn't offer any credit from that, so I only have this one chance to be able to do what I'm dreaming of, so
Why am I gonna cry?
that is why I
This is so
am on the
cute.
phone with you right now.
The music really gets me. Aw, I'm just happy. That's so great. Ah, this is a question they talk about with everybody, especially if you're living in the Disney dorms. They're definitely gonna ask you if you've lived with roommates before, and you have to be honest about that. I'm sure a lot of you will be in college by the time you're applying and you will have lived with a roommate, but if not, you could talk about if you have any siblings. Just talk about how as a person with your friends, you know, deal with conflicts when you don't agree on something, just so they can tell that you're a person who is really flexible, but will set rules and be responsible in a shared space. Everything has to be positive. Everything is great. You have no complaints about anything. And don't be afraid to go on tangents and talk about things that they're asking you about. Don't be just so eager to answer their questions that you aren't conversing with them too. They want to know that you're a human being. And be super descriptive too. Don't just say yes or no. Have examples ready about times where you had to deal with something and what you did exactly. They want to know the details. Oof. Then they ask how the Disney College program will benefit your career. And for me, it really had nothing to do with my career. It was just a goal of mine. But I think I talked about how in acting, let me just listen.
As an actor is what I want to do right now. The biggest part of acting is storytelling and getting to know different people's point of views. And I think if I do the program, I will meet so many different people of different backgrounds, and everybody has their own story. So just to get to know people and hear what they're passionate about.
This is like torture for me, you guys, but I think this is a great answer for any career. You can talk about how, I'm sure in your career you'll be working with people from all over, whatever you're doing, and you can say that it'll give you, you know, experience connecting with people from all different places and backgrounds who all have the same common interest. And then she asked me if I ever had experience with safety in all of my previous jobs, and I actually had just started a new job between the application and the phone interview, and I didn't even get to put it on my application, which was crazy. So it was so great that I got the chance to talk about it now. And it was an attraction, basically. It was a National Geographic exhibit in Times Square, and it was like a virtual reality attraction type thing, and we had so many rules about kids running and all that stuff, and so that's what I talked about there. And you know, you just have to say that you have guidelines and you make that clear to your guests, and you make sure they understand all the rules so that they don't get hurt and you don't get hurt and all that fun stuff. Safety, 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 guys. Remember what I said.
Sure. So the safety in Disney World is so important to me, and it's always made me feel comfortable going there.
Oh yeah, make sure you say that if you've ever been to Disney World, say how safe you felt there because you feel really comfortable and you know that there's no danger because you're in such good hands, and that safety is so important to them and you've always valued that. You have to like compliment them because they're like nice.
It could scare the kids away, and maybe they would never want to come back or lose their passion about sea creatures just by having the wrong experience.
Okay, and then I talked about how I am so proud of myself. Like, I completely blacked out. Thank God I recorded this because I would have never remembered what I said. I talked about how when I worked in the aquarium, the touch tank is a great place for kids who are interested in sea creatures. And when they learned about sea creatures, you wouldn't want them to have a bad experience where they get hurt because they're not following the rules, and then the experience is ruined for them, and it might affect their love of the creatures and and hurt their image of the aquarium, you know? So you don't want that to happen at Disney if someone has a bad experience from not following the rules. They asked me what kind of pace I work at best, but I think they're looking to see if you thrive in a fast-paced environment because Disney is so crowded. There's always a billion people around you. You have to be thinking on your feet, especially with something like attractions, because you could stop the ride at any second if you see something wrong. So they just need to know that maybe you had slow jobs before, but you know that you're responsible enough to be quick and you're always on your feet and you'll make quick decisions. Just be like super bubbly and happy. You can get away with anything, even if your words don't make sense coming out of your mouth. I'm so smiley, oh my gosh. Oh, and one of my options was Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, so then they started asking me if I have experience with hair and makeup, so I guess depending on what you check as your top preferences, they will ask you specific questions for those. So make sure you know a lot about the roles that you are putting as your top roles, and you can explain why you'll fit well in them. And that's gonna depend on every person. That's individual to you. I can't tell you how to answer that. So just be ready. That's all I can tell you to do. It's so funny. I always wonder how they decide where to place you based on your answers, because like, I feel like I could have been accepted in a lot of different things, but somehow they chose attractions and I'm so happy they did. Ooh, something about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique that they asked was if there is a parent that doesn't like the way their child looks and the child likes it, what do you do? So you have to just make it all about the child and just be really kind. Don't be rude to the parent, but just, you know, enforce to the parent and explain to them that this is their special day, and if they're happy, then aren't you happy? Smile. A lot of other questions are really hard for the character attendant role because you have to preserve the magic so well, and you have to, you know, maintain character integrity. Make sure everybody is seeing the magic and not questioning anything about it, and you have an answer for everything. So I didn't put character attendant, but a question that they ask a lot of people is if a child asks you how Mickey was just in Epcot and now they're in Magic Kingdom, what do you say? You have to use your imagination, and you have to make sure you're saying the same thing to all the kids. So you have to say something like, oh, well, he travels through the mouse holes. If you look hard enough, you could find some, but we can't reveal all of his secrets. So just try and keep it secretive, but make it magical for them. You know, he sprinkles pixie dust and he's able to travel from place to place, things like that. And, you know, really just put yourself in the mind of a child, and that's how you can answer the question. Don't ever give anything away. Don't stutter, don't hesitate. Anything that comes out of your mouth will be great, and they will believe you, and you can breathe out. I wasn't prepared for any of these questions, honestly, the specific job questions. These are some good ones, they got me. But it's good because it gets you to think on your feet, because when you're in the job, you're not gonna know what kinds of things are gonna happen, what situations you will encounter. So you have to just be prepared for anything, and that's really what they're looking for. They're not looking for you to look up all these questions on the internet and have answers written out, because that's not how being a person works. You have to be able to adapt and think and react in the correct way. And then of course they ask you the all-important question of, do you have experience in guest services or guest interaction? And this is where your customer service experience comes in, people. Get it out there. Probably put it on your application, just elaborate. I finally calmed down by the end of it. Okay, then she was telling me what happens next, when I might hear from them, what's the last date that you could possibly hear back. It's like 3 months ahead. Oof, okay, here we go. They ask you if you have any questions for them. Do not say no. You have to come up with something. Even if you talk about it during the process, write a list of questions that you would ask them, because if you don't ask them any questions at the end, it shows that you're kind of indifferent or you're not curious to learn more, to explain yourself more. I asked about if there were anything with groceries, even though I knew they didn't, you know, give you money for groceries, how your interviewer got involved in the Disney company. I know that's a popular one that people ask their interviewers. You can also ask them how the scheduling is done. I don't know, how the roommate situation works if you're unfamiliar. Think of any question that you could ask a possible interviewer. And even if you already know the answer, just ask a question so that it's not over yet and you can still have nice responses ready. So really it's good to actually ask a question that you know the answer to. Unless you just want to get to know the interviewer better and just have a good day. That's all. And then I could exhale and it was over. She was just closing up. Probably told me I did a great job. Now we were closing up and you could tell that I felt good.
Thank you, I hope you do too. It was so nice to speak
Make sure you
with
wish them a great day. Thank them. I clearly felt confident.
Okay. I think that went well.
I'm really proud of myself. I did a good job, and I don't know, I didn't expect it.
I really rambled at some point.
I definitely rambled a little bit, but it was a clear ramble. It made sense. They were real sentences. Take your time, be prepared, write down, bullet points of your skills, and think of aspects of your top 3 roles that you can talk about easily and why you'd be great at them. Talk about your strengths, talk about customer service, but not customer service, guest interaction. Don't say customers, say guests. Say safety as much as you can, and smile while you're talking, because I swear they can hear it over the phone and they know you're nervous. They just want to know that you're excited. Take a deep breath. When you are done with your interview, you are gonna get an email that thanks you for doing your interview, and then I found a link where I could message my interviewer and thank them again, which is a great thing to do. I'll try and find that and link it down below. So when you're done, you can click on this link and you can say the name of your interviewer, which is why you should also write it down. And then you can thank them again for all of their help, and you had a really great time talking to them, and you hope to hear from the recruiter soon, because you do. And then you will get your acceptance, hopefully. I ended up getting accepted exactly a week from my phone interview. I know people who didn't get accepted until months after. I know people who waited months and then got rejected. It's really difficult, but if you follow all these steps and you do your absolute best, you have to know that it wasn't your fault. You know that maybe they thought you weren't ready yet. Maybe they thought that they had a lot of really good candidates already and they didn't have room. It could be anything. You might not fit the roles that they have the most spots open for. You might fit the ones that they have no spots open for. So that's just the hard truth about it. Just know that each time you apply, they might remember you, and you're getting more and more experience. Maybe during your application process, you'll regret something, and then you'll get a chance to try again in 6 months. It's all gonna be good, but hopefully you will get this email. It is the best feeling in the world to see that do not reply. Congratulations, Disney College Program. It was the best day ever, and oh God, I called everyone I knew. You guys got this, I know you do. So if you wanna watch that full phone interview cringy video, I'm gonna link it down below. It's the first video, it's the worst video. First is the worst, as always. So just, laugh about it. Probably record yourself too. So I know that when I finish like a test or something, I always want to look back and see what my answers were, because I really do like black out in the situation. So if you want to record your phone interview, that's helpful too. And then, you won't worry about what did I say? I don't even know. You can just watch it back and feel better about it, or worse. I don't know. But I wish you all the very, very best, and you guys got this. Keep watching these videos over and over again, and you will be completely prepared. There's a lot more great resources, so many other videos about it. You can never get too much information. So go wild, do your research, and enjoy the Disney College Program when you get accepted. You got this. See you guys. Bye!